I just realized I have been plugging this microphone into the wrong hole on my camera for the entire time I've made videos. I've been plugging it into the headphone hole and not that is so embarrassing and unfortunate. And people complain about the audio of my videos and I'm like, I don't know what else I can physically do to help this. That is ridiculous. Today we have a Dr. Pepper cherry. It's like fine, but I'm a fan of like the cream soda flavors. I just tried this to do something fun and fresh and new. So today I'm doing an Ask Me Anything video and I'm going to answer all of the questions you guys asked. I posted this on my like posts tab on YouTube and then also my Instagram story. And I always get like a lot of really interesting questions and stuff that I don't really talk about, which is why I like to do these. But also I just want to do a little catch-up video in between my video essays because I genuinely have nothing to say about the movies coming out. So I'm actually working on a Texas Chainsaw Massacre video because I want to do like a summer ween kind of thing. But like I saw Forbidden Fruits, it was great. I saw Our Hero Balthazar, it was great. So I think there's maybe 40 questions. This might be long, but that's okay. So I'm also going to talk in depth about how I run my sticker club and like what I do. And like it's not really that big of a production or a business, but people are really interested. Like a few people are interested in like where I order my stuff and like how I do it. So I'm going to talk about that as well. We're going to get to that eventually. Okay, the first question is, what are your favorite films with untraditional and / non-linear storytelling? The first new film that comes to mind is Strange Darling because the way that it revealed the story to you was so satisfying. And then I also felt that way with Project Hail Mary. That's not really like the kind of movies I talk about, but I love when a story uses restraint in its storytelling and doesn't just spill it all out for you. Like me and Shane have been like looking for something to watch on TV. So we're like, okay, let's try the new Walking Dead, Rick and Michonne, whatever, season. And first of all, we had to buy it through like AMC Fupa Plus. And it's just like, I don't understand where to get it. It took us like an hour to figure that out. But then the first episode of the Rick and Michonne series is the worst storytelling I've maybe ever seen in like a serious TV show. It's just so like they just throw all this narration on you, explaining to you every little thing. It's so tell, don't show. And I hate that. So I love when there's like a Project Hail Mary that uses a lot of restraint and doesn't actually give you the full story until the very last minute. Or Strange Darling, where you genuinely have no idea what's going on. Obsessed. I think out of my favorites list, the ones with non-linear storytelling are probably like Audition is a good example of this because you have to really piece together what's actually going on in the first place. I just feel like I talk about the same ones constantly, but literally Sharp Objects, the way that they do storytelling. Also, all of the jewelry I'm wearing today, except for this ring, is from this girl named Chelsea. She's extremely talented, and this is her jewelry page. So if you want to like get some for yourself. Okay, next question. And multiple people asked me this. Will there be more passing through episodes? Yeah, it's just Shane has a new job and it's like taking so much of his time away. So it's really hard to find a time when I'm not busy and when he isn't working. But we will be doing more episodes, I promise. Especially because we also have gameplays to do. Like we need to finish I'm Not a Human because that is a really scary game and I really want to finish it. Someone said, when did you first start posting on social media? I've been on here the entire time. I was on Tumblr. I think a giant reason why I post on social media anyway is because I want to be part of the zeitgeist. Like I want to be a part of it because it meant so much to me when I was like 13, you know? I've been in fandom since I was 13. Not so much like One Direction or like the really popular fandoms, but I've been into like animation fandoms and stuff like that, like Adventure Time and whatever, for such a long time. I love the zeitgeist of it all. I love to be a part of it. That's a reason why I post all of my shit to Pinterest, even though people steal it all the time. I hate it when people get my shit tattooed, but profile picture, Instagram, infographic, like use my illustration, like I don't care. It brings me joy to be a part of it, if that makes sense. So to answer your question, first started posting at like 12. I made like fan accounts when I was 12 with my friend, and we'd like make art and fan accounts. And I actually did like a giveaway, I think at like 13 or 14, maybe younger, on my art account. I had like this little stupid art account, and some girl got like a bunch of Sharpies and stuff, which like I wonder where she is. It was like a giveaway where you had to like post on Instagram, and I just picked a random person, but I've never had followers the whole time. So what are your top 3 cities you'd like to visit? Number 1, I want to go to Japan. I'm such a white person. I want to go to Japan. Sorry. I want to go to Japan. I also would love to go to Australia. I just think the weather and the beach is probably so gorgeous. I'm just a little bit scared of spiders there. And I want to go to like the UK. Like, I don't know. When I went to Europe once, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of different stuff to go do while I'm not in America, because I've never been to any other countries. I would like to go to Mexico. Never been to Mexico, which is fucking stupid of me and insane. It's just, I never had a chance. If you were stuck on a deserted island, what movie would you pick to watch for the rest of your life if you had a DVD player? Okay, for the rest of my life, that's really hard, because I'm taking this really seriously. Because realistically, you'd go crazy by like the 4th month, you know? So if I had to pick a movie that I could just like pick apart, like, you know, when people are in solitary confinement and you have to like read every word really slowly so you don't go crazy, I think I'd pick something really long and like heady, like maybe, or something with a really good soundtrack. This is giving me anxiety because like I have existential like OCD problems. And I'm like, okay, realistically, I'd pick Donnie Darko because the soundtrack's banging, could watch it forever. It's so funny. But also I'm thinking of like an animated movie, like just to calm me down, because I'd be like trying to get through the day. Honestly, maybe The Last Wish, because just something to look at. Like it's so like fun to look at, you know? That's a really hard question. Favorite creepypasta. Okay, if I had to pick the one that scared me the most when I was a kid, and it's like my favorite in that way, it's gonna be Smile Dog. That really scared me. Favorite creepypasta is the one about the guy whose mind starts going like really fast, so everything around him slow, and he gets stuck at the train station. I think the name is something like I've been stuck at this train station or something. But he takes this drug that makes it so he's like limitless, but it's like a cosmic horror because everything around him so slow. It takes him like 20 minutes to do stuff, like brush his teeth, or an hour. And that is such a scary concept to me, and that is such a well-written one. That's definitely my favorite. I'll find the name and I'll put it up here. Right now, I was like opening my phone up for Safari to see what the name was, and I'm on Tyler Catastrophe's GoFundMe page. So someone asked, what is the process for your mailing club? So I found that any number over 100 people on the mailing club is too much, because the stickers themselves are the easiest part, because I just like design them and that's really fun. And then I decide like if they're going to get an extra goodie or whatever, because it would go well with the theme. So I can't say that on YouTube because I'll get, for some reason, because they think I'm selling booty hole pics on there or whatever, they take like 1%, which is not that bad. So I started with 20 people, and the price was like $5 a month, because I'm like, I want to make this accessible as I possibly can. I want free worldwide shipping. Like I want it to be accessible. And it turns out that was not enough money and I wasn't breaking even. So I raised it to $10, and weirdly that made more people join, I think, because the $5 almost seemed like a scam because it was so cheap for a sticker sheet. but I haven't changed the price from $10 since. And what I do is I order 100 sticker sheets. I've tried Sticker App and like those other ones, but Sticker Mule has the best quality. They're genuinely waterproof and they're actually vinyl. So I use Sticker Mule every single time. So I order from them. They never give you any discount, which is so stupid because I order every month, but whatever. And I also order these plastic sheets from Amazon. I actually hate that I have to get it from Amazon, but it's literally actually the only way unless I'm going to get it from Temu. So I get these plastic sheets. They come in like $2.50. They're super cheap and they make it so the stickers don't get damaged. And then I order a few packs of envelopes from Amazon. They are very cheap as well. I think these are like $10 for 100, but I get the brown craft paper because I'm really annoying. And then I also got myself a stamp for my address because at first I was writing out my address and writing out everybody's address by hand. And I have carpal tunnel, so it was just way too much. So anyway, around the first of the month, I will design the stickers and order the stickers. And then at the end of the month, the stickers are ready to go. I post them on Instagram and then people join if they like that sheet and people get sent the sticker for the month they paid for, if that makes sense. But they're sent out on the first of the month, but sometimes it's like the third or the fourth if I'm like really busy. And then I have to go to the post office and buy stamps. So it's honestly like a really low overhead cost if you want to do a sticker club because it's basically just the raw materials. You're going to need like some sticker paper to print out addresses at home because that's way more accurate. I was fucking up addresses all the time when I was handwriting them. And then you can get fun stuff like glitter, extra stickers, stamps, and overall, it's extremely easy to do if you have the time and you have a vision because the hardest part is like standing out because there's so many sticker clubs now. And I actually, on God, I didn't know that anyone else was doing this when I started it 3 or 4 years ago. And now there's a lot of competition, so it's harder now, I think. But I think if you take really nice pictures of the stickers that you're making and like you add a lot of cute additional stuff, like if I could do it over, I think I would also add postcards and more stickers. I just have an issue with like putting like lesser quality stickers in with my nice vinyl ones, I guess. So if I were to like add a bunch of free stickers in every thing, it would be like, yeah, 50 cents for 100, but then it's like they're going to wash off or something. So I don't love the idea of doing that myself, but I know some people just like to have stickers. So it looks cute in the thing. But I will say it takes me upwards of 6 hours to pack everything and to take them to the UPS store or the USPS. It does take a really long time, but it's literally half of my income. Like the rest of it is my graphic design work, but it is like a huge help with like me being able to live. And it's literally my art, which is really cool. But you do have to report it on your taxes, but you can say that the envelopes and stuff were because of your business and then they take it out of your taxes. Not that I ever owe anything. Like, what the fuck? Okay, what's one topic/opinion you could talk about forever? Horror related or not, I enjoy content, smiley face. Thank you. I'm going to be honest with you. It is the concept of feminism because of how deeply, deeply misogynistic our entire life is. Like, if I said my true feelings upon like what gender means in society, I wouldn't get taken seriously because people would say you're fucking crazy. But like one of my topics I could talk about for like literally a year is how every single aspect of our life is basically affected deeply by the patriarchy, and it bleeds into everything, like everything. And another thing that plays into it is how much the world tries to block you from understanding that if you're a woman, because it's really beneficial to society when women don't understand how deeply the patriarchy affects them. It's super useful to everybody around a woman when she doesn't understand, you know? And I grew up not understanding. And then my first influence into feminism was Riot Grrrl music. And I was like, why have I never thought about it like that? Why have I never thought about it like I'm able to have autonomy? And that's like a crazy concept because no one teaches you that. I'm already going way too deep into it, but I think down to the dating scene and everything, I think a lot of men do not see women as people, and not necessarily on purpose. It's just the way that everything's built. Even like medicine, car crash tests, clothes, psychology, psychiatry, everything is tested on men first. And women are the second gender. Like, that's just, it's crazy to me that nobody talks about that. And it's just like, it's too much. I could talk about it forever. So I think that is the topic I could go on and on about. But also, I love the idea of cognitive dissonance and like telling yourself things that will make it so you see reality in a different way. Because that happens to me. It happens to everybody, where you lie to yourself and you don't see reality the right way. So fascinating, so interesting. I don't know. Someone said, I loved your video essay on Sons and Lambs for my English sorry, I don't know what that is. I'm studying in comparison to Titus Andronicus and wondered if you had any thoughts on how society makes minority groups the villains. I loved your exploration of class. Love your videos. Thank you so much. So sweet. Okay, I think my thoughts about that are the way that certain groups like rise into power is obviously by villainizing and excluding a certain type of person. That's just like always how it works. So my idea on how society makes minority groups the villains is, I think it kind of boils down to things that are other make people uncomfortable, because people, including myself, but not to a degree that I think the average person, whatever, things that are different from you challenge your very deeply held beliefs that are making you able to function. So like some people go out into the world and they're able to function and like kind of be a human because they deeply believe something, whether that's like religion or whether that's like a really problematic belief, like I'm better than everyone else or whatever. When there's like a out group that threatens someone's deeply held shit, I think that people villainize that person in a way that is not fair. And it's so dumb. And I think that's why it's really important to practice being uncomfortable, and kind of like, that's why I love horror, because it forces you to be uncomfortable. And I think getting used to being uncomfortable is a way for everybody to have a better world. Like, for example, if I deeply believe that men and women are different, like men are better than women, for example, which is what a lot of people believe, even if they don't know it, and I go and I meet a trans person, I'm going to fucking freak and I'm going to villainize them. And that's because I cannot cope with the world not being exactly how I think it is, because that makes me feel like scared and like I'm going to die. So that's what I think about that. But there's so many ways to like think about it. That's just my opinion. Someone said, I think your creativity is very inspirational. I feel like I have been in a slump for a while and unable to make any art. I usually turn to your videos to get me out of bed. How do you stay creative? That's very, very sweet, especially because I struggle with the exact same thing. When I'm in like a creative slump, I'm kind of in one right now. Like, I've seen a lot of movies and I haven't wanted to make any video essays on any of them. I just like don't have anything to say. But I think what happens is like, as people, we get understimulated, and what helps me is to go and do things that I haven't seen or done before. Like, I find myself in my bedroom working and doing shit for the entire day, and then I'm like, okay, why do I not feel inspired? Online can only do so much to inspire me, and I know it's bad when I do something I haven't done or seen or whatever, and then I dream about it because I'm like, oh, my brain needed something to get it going. Like, best places to go, I know it's not accessible for everybody, but galleries or like into nature or bookstores, like graphic novel stores. That's where I like to go because I'm like, whoa, somebody actually made an entire graphic novel. I can make a fucking video essay. I can make my illustration. Like, you know what I mean? But I think art block is not just real. It's like unavoidable and everybody deals with it. What's your favorite compliment you've gotten or favorite kind of compliment? I got a comment on my YouTube like a couple months ago that was like, oh, I clicked into this video and I was not scared and then you made me scared. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. That's like what I want. Do you have an insight or piece of advice or quote that changed your frontal lobe for the better? Yes. So a lot of my tension and stuff comes from I'm trying to make myself happy by planning every single second of my day or planning every single second of going out and doing something. But the root for the word happiness comes from the definition of like unexpected or circumstantial. So the idea of happiness actually means you find it when you don't expect to and you let it come to you. So like chasing happiness as like a destination or an ideal or something you can make never works. So it's not my fault if it doesn't work. I just need to let it happen and come to me. That changed everything. Like today I made a peanut butter and jam sandwich on sourdough and it was so fucking good, but I didn't think it was going to be that good. But the happiness just came to me. Like I'm eating it. I'm like, damn, this is real. I'm really happy right now. So I don't try to chase happiness anymore. I used to try and like chase it and make it happen, but that just gives me anxiety. Also, the USA has the greatest amount of anxious people in the entire world. And that's interesting because the USA, we idealize happiness as a destination, which is funny because maybe that is why we have so much anxiety. Thoughts on gay ships. Like, okay, when I first read this, I thought it was like a gay cruise. And I'm like, okay, gay cruise. I think cruises are genuinely disgusting and disturbing. And I think that they're like a body horror of human experience because it's like, okay, you're going to Mexico, but you're going on a cruise ship where you get all your food for you. You're not eating any Mexican food. You're not meeting any Mexican people. You're just going on a fucking white person cruise and you're eating the worst food ever. And you all poop in that bucket in the boat. It's just, I hate cruises. I've been on a cruise. I was so unhappy being on the cruise. I mean, I was happy because I make the best of things and like I had a lot of fun, but to willingly go on one is just not something that I vibe with at all. But on thoughts on gay ships, I think why not? Like ship whoever you want to. I saw an edit of Megamind and that lion from Madagascar. Who is that hurting, you know? What advice would you give to finding your sense of self and style? I love everything about yours and it just seems so cohesive and you're so cool. Thank you so much. So sweet. I would say number one, don't wait until you have your life together or your perfect body or whatever, you have all the shit you want to dress and behave the way you want to, because things will work out better for you if you just try and act like your dream self and then let everything fall into place. I think a lot of the time I would like save my style for when I have my shit together or like whatever. But you should just wear what your dream ideal self would wear. Not that I'm doing that every day. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Los Angeles, City of Angels. I have never been happier in my life. I'm obsessed with LA. I love how horrible of a vibe it has. I love the evil vibe that it has. What do you do for work and do you have fun? Like, I hate work, but then I'm like, it's fine. Like, I'm a graphic designer and I have a lot of different clients who I don't like to talk about this as much because it's like my work life, and I would be so fucking mortified and embarrassed if my work people found my social media, because it's not like normal to talk about horror movies as much as I do. But work is definitely boring and definitely tedious. And I have problems like everybody else my age does where I'm like, am I getting anywhere in life? Like seems like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm scared. But then I'm like, okay, take a deep breath. Like back up the bus. That's going to be okay. And you're doing the best you can. So graphic design is fun, but it's so tedious. I am thinking if I don't find myself doing social media as a job, because right now this is just for fun, if I don't find myself doing it as a job, I would love to go into something way different. Like I've been flirting with the idea of EMS because you don't need to go to school for that. And I like the idea of completely pivoting because graphic design is getting, unfortunately, like really competitive. So if I were to quit my job now, if I come back to it, I would be out of the loop. And that's really stressful. Do you have any Southern Gothic movie recommendations? Love your videos, by the way. Thank you. I think my best recommendations are the one I made a letterbox list for this because it's Summerween. And also Southern Gothic is like my favorite scenery for sure. My favorites are X, Sharp Objects, Double All the Time, No Country for Old Men, Texas Chainsaw, the OG, Desert, which is by Joshua Erkman, which is just fucking so good. No one knows about that one. Pearl, obviously, Bones and All, Love Lies Bleeding, and Wolf Creek. Those are my favorite. They're all super gory and super fun. Most disturbing on that list is definitely Wolf Creek. Fucking trigger warning on that one. No Country for Old Men is probably, I think, one of my favorites on that list. And The Devil All the Time is good and doesn't get its flowers because it was a Netflix original, which I'm honestly understanding of that judgment. Do you have any plans to work in the film industry one day? Love your content. Thank you. Okay, I used to want to go into practical effects. Like there's a cabal of people that live here that all work in practical effects, and it's actually mostly like really cool women, and which is kind of cool. And I really wanted to go into that department, but I think I would have more fun if I stayed on the criticism side of things versus like actually inside the film industry. And if I were to do practical effects, I would do them for like my own short film or something. I have the skills for something like that. I can sculpt, obviously. Like I'm a bitch that does crafts. Like I can do stuff like that. I've made a lot of gory, gross props for fun. I made like a mushroom zombie head thing for fun. So I think it's more of like I'd rather do it for fun than to like actually go into that career that is so hard to get into, like you have no idea. And I don't really have the passion for it. So I was flirting with that idea, but then I'm like, no. So if I did work in the film industry, I'd want to work in the art department rather than like directing or whatever. Because I think to be a director or to be like an actor or whatever, you need to literally like strip your ego in a way that I don't think I'm capable of. Like, I think the best directors do not give a fuck with it, what anybody thinks about them. They're making something and they're not going to let anyone get in their way. I hate the trend of like student films being so reserved and feeling so corporate. Like, I want to see the knockdown, drag out directing where you and an actor or you and a team are really pushing the needle and you're doing guerrilla filmmaking. That's what I like to see. So I don't think I'm cut out for that, because if I were to do something like that, I'd want to do it in the right way, the way that I think is right. What made you want to start uploading on YouTube? For fun. Like, I just wanted to like do this thing for fun. I love making videos and stuff. So will we get more No, I'm Not a Human gameplay? Yes. If you ever got the chance to be a creative director or a contributor on a movie, what would be your ideal project? It'd be so interesting to see you working in the movies because your amazing eye. Heart. That's very, very sweet. If I could be like a creative director for a project, I think My dream would be a female-centered story, Southern Gothic or like desert style horror with a lot of gore. But I don't want my female-centered story to feel girl bossy or forced or too sanitized. Like, I'm feeling like a lot of newer movies are quite sanitized and too clean and not vulnerable enough. Like, I would want to have a team of people that like cared about it so much that like we would all not care about ourselves as much and care about the project. So that would be my dream project or my dream thing to contribute to. How was LA with all the people leaving for Coachella? Honestly, this sounds stupid, but I don't go to the places that the people in Coachella went to Coachella go to. So like, I know Community Goods, like the line was probably less long and stuff, but I don't really go there or go to those places, so I didn't notice as much. But the traffic was better. But I did go to the AMC at the Grove and it was still really busy. So I don't know. I feel like so many people just hang out there. I do have to say, one thing that is super annoying is like when you'll see an influencer in public, they will act like everyone's trying to take a picture of them or something, and they'll like look at you like, don't take a picture of me, I'm just an influencer. And it's like, bitch, I'm not gonna take a picture of you. Like, favorite film scores. Don't hate me, I, Tanya, is my favorite film score. That film score is too good. Also, I know this is cringy, but The Incredibles, come on now. That's really, really good. Also, I loved the Maxine score / soundtrack and The Edge of 17. Love that one. You know, it's funny because when I'm watching a movie that has a good score, I'm just so focused on how awesome I'm feeling when there's good music playing and I'm watching it that I don't comprehend that the score is really good until after the fact. But 3 more is Saltburn score, Challenger score. I work out to all the time. Like, genuinely, that's the best workout score ever. And then Saint Maud, that score, super good. Do you have any future plans for tattoos? I really want more things on my bottom half because it's all on my top, and I want more like chest stuff. I just want big pieces, and I want under the butt too. I need $1 million yesterday. How has making friends been in a new city? I moved to a new city and it can be fun, but also lonely. Okay, first of all, I think people think they're the only one that has trouble being social, and it's like everybody's going through a pandemic of it. Like, it's really bad. Nobody wants to embarrass themselves, so like no one does anything. But I think like thankfully I knew people before I moved here, but also I've been going through a season of life where I'm trying to work really hard on like my projects, so I don't have that much time to be social, to be honest. But I think it can be as easy as like sometimes you click with someone random by like complimenting them, or you're like in line or you compliment them. I think something like that can lead to more things than you think, because people are really lonely. Like, I think most of Gen Z is extremely lonely. So instead of like feeling sad because it's lonely, feel like you're a part of a greater human condition of people going through the same thing. Like, it's not just you, it's your shared humanity. I think if you are trying to actively make friends, I think it's better to go to like focused events and focused things rather than like Bumble BFF or whatever, because you do not know who you're meeting on those. And then if you go to like a focused event, you have a shared thing in common already. What's your favorite graphic design of a horror film? Ooh, this is a good one. You know, like cover-wise, this is so hard because this is all I think about. But I think the one that stands out the most to me is there was a movie called Her Smell, and it's about like an aging riot girl, rock star girl. And the graphic design for the movie's good, but like at the very end of the movie, the credits, the team did a bunch of fake album covers and like fake posters and DVDs and stuff of the band. And it was so incredibly realistic that I have to say that's my favorite, because it's honestly just impressive that they were able to do that in such a realistic way. Super, super cool. What is your most anticipated film for this year? Hokum, that horror movie by the creators of Caveat, because Caveat made me shit my pants and squirt my pants. I was really scared. Also, when the fuck is the Panos Cosmatos movie coming out? But I'm really excited for that. Do you have any tips on finding your personal style? I think what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel confident is most important. So actual advice is find an outfit combination that makes you feel comfortable, like your best self, and makes you feel like really cute. And then just make that outfit in different genres. So like, for example, I have a really short torso, long legs. So I feel really confident in like a long shirt, like a big oversized shirt and a tiny skirt. So I have 400 oversized long shirts and I have 3 tiny skirts that I rotate through. So when I go shopping, I'm looking for tiny skirt and oversized shirt, or I'm looking for big pants, small shirt. So like, find what you feel the best in and then just try to copy that outfit so you can just grab it and go. For me, my nightmare outfit is high-waisted tight pants and a tight shirt. Nightmare. So I'm not gonna wear that. I'm not gonna find shit that like looks like that. I'm gonna look for stuff that I know I feel good in. What's your favorite theater in LA? Love your videos. Thank you. Okay, favorite theater. This is so controversial and this is so dumb, but my favorite theater is the Cinemark North Hollywood, because why the fuck is it $11 tickets if you have the Cinemark Plus? I have Cinemark Plus. I don't have AMC and I don't have Regal or Alamo. I have Cinemark. Because is there an icy machine? The popcorn's amazing. They have fucking pretzels and shit, but every single theater has lounger seats and it is far away from everybody else and nobody goes there. So there's nobody there, and there's parking. So that's my go-to theater. That's my handy dandy trusty dusty. But if I had to choose like 2 other ones, I'd say the Los Feliz Vintage Theater is so sick, and it's next to a bunch of good food and cool bookstores. And then the Alamo Drafthouse is amazing on a Tuesday when the ticket's not $86. So I'll go to Alamo on Tuesday to see a movie that's not playing at Cinemark, and then I'll go to Cinemark when I just want to go see a movie for sure. But sometimes I have to go to the Alamo because Cinemark doesn't have what I need, but I can't complain for $11. Worst theater is La Mel Noho. Why? Every time I go, there's some fuck shit happening. There's some crazy person there. Okay, last 3 times I went to see Weapons. There was a drunk as fuck boomer couple, drunk as fuck, farting, burping, laughing so loud, ruining the movie. Second time I went there was a guy breathing so loud that I actually couldn't focus the movie. Like, breathing like so loud, like it was so annoying. Not his fault, but have some self-awareness and go sit not in the middle of the theater. Like, come on now. And then the 3rd time I went there, a guy had his feet out and his toes, and had his in between, like where the seats above him were. So his feet were bare on someone's fucking cup holder rest in front of him, and we had to change our seats because we didn't want to be next to his feet. And also drinks are like $15. Also AMC, why is the drink $15? Bruh. So yeah, that's my favorite theaters. It's kind of sick and twisted because I live literally on Hollywood Boulevard and there's a ton of theaters, like 10-minute walk, but they're all $45 tickets. Just stupid. Hey, do you have any tips on discovering films or media in general? Since I really love finding cool inspo outside of social media, I'd love to know your input. Okay, best place for niche stuff that nobody's talking about is Film Grab. Film Grab only puts like the really artsy, cool movies on there. And there's some really cool deep cuts. You can like just sort and filter through genre and stuff. It's cool. Also, weirdly, like sometimes I go to IMDb and new releases and I find stuff I never heard of. And then honestly, it's like keeping tabs on studios you like. So like I like IFC and Neon, obviously. Like me and Neon are like this. But I like Neon and IFC and sometimes A24. They're kind of hit or miss lately. But I follow those accounts on Instagram, and then they always are advertising new releases. So like I just follow studios I love. Another one that always has good movies is like, it's like a astronaut in space. That one. And then there's like Square Peg also is good. Like there's a few studios you'll notice if you watch a lot of movies that are like, oh, I really fuck with that studio because they're making like good projects. What are your favorite non-horror genres / movies? Okay, favorite non-horror is going to be drama, specifically female twisty juicy drama like Big Little Lies. Like I like dark female drama. May December I didn't like that much, but that's just an example of one that I would like in theory. And I love animated movies. I always go see animated movies. Like I saw Zootopia 2 in the theater opening night. Was it good? No. But I like animated stuff. I also love like early 2000s cozy nostalgic movies. So like Mustang, like it's an example of like it looks really cozy and nostalgic. There's like fucked up plot and stuff and a lot of drama, but I love like really vulnerable looking movies. Movies I hate, romance movies. Hi, do you have any tips for living with your significant other? Stay amazing, queen. This is a really sweet message. Okay. Yes, I do. Because if you live with your significant other, especially if it's a boyfriend, it's going to be very, very hard. It's going to rip you apart and put you back together again. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with socially is dealing with living with somebody, because it's so hard to figure out if it's going to work, right? So knowing that it's hard and difficult, I think the best thing that we've done is we have no problem saying, I need alone time. That's like I need to go poop. Like that's just normal. Like you say I need alone time, give you alone time. That's helpful because I feel like in relationships, like you just want to be together. So you're constantly together and then you're just pissing each other off. I think to like not build resentment, you need to divvy up chores and stuff. So like at first I'm like a cleaner. So I was like cleaning everything and I'm like, oh, I'm getting resentful of you right now. Like we need to figure this out. So now it's like a different system and I do some things and he does some things. And I like things done a certain way, so I do those. So I think it's like divvying up tasks in a way that makes sense for you guys. And then giving lots of space for each other. And also letting some things go. Like I'm very weird. And I think that if I'm showering and somebody wants to go in the bathroom and like poop or whatever, not happening. Not happening. And I'm like, no. Like, I also think doing it with the door open is really gross. And I know those things are strict. So, like, if there's a sock on the floor, I'm letting it go. Not my problem. Like, I let things go because I'm strict in certain ways. So, just like maybe once a day, your significant other does something that annoys you, just let it go. Because if you get mad at every single thing, it's going to be so exhausting for everybody. And I'm sure there's things that I do that are annoying, especially like living with someone is so difficult. Like, I love Greek yogurt. Shane hates the smell of dairy. So when I make my Greek yogurt, I don't leave it out. Like, I wash my shit and put it away right away. And that's just something I do for him. And then for me, he cleans up beard hairs. You know what I mean? So just know that it's going to be very hard and take a lot of effort, but also it's going to be way more fun when you guys are living together, and it's going to be fine. I know you talked bit about this before, but how did you get over your binge eating disorder? Also, you're the coolest. Thank you so much. Binge eating disorder is the fucking bane of my existence. And I'm glad more people are talking about it online because when I was going through it, ain't nobody admitting that they were eating as much as me. So whatever. Like, mine was to the point where I would eat like an entire family-sized bag of M&M's caramel. Yep. So good. An entire family-sized bag in one day, sometimes two bags in one day, and whatever. Best advice is to, okay, what works for me, honestly, maybe not, this is not advice, it's just what works for me. When I buy groceries, I buy things that I'm not going to binge on because I don't have the self-control. So like, yeah, I don't buy brownies. I don't buy cookies, So I have treats, of course, but it's like the Yasso bars or like an ice cream sandwich from Whole Foods that is an individually packaged one. Like, I can't just have a pack of brownies hanging out. I'm going to eat them all. So that's what I do. But I don't let myself never have a sweet treat or something that's like a binge food for me, because the minute that I leave my house, if somebody else suggests like, let's go get a pastry, I'm getting a fucking chocolate brownie sundae Mamba Famba pastry. Like, yes, I'm not gonna deprive myself of sweet treats and stuff when I'm out of the house or I'm with friends or whatever. And that helps me because I'm like, when I'm after dinner, it gets really bad because I'll have had my Yasso bar after dinner and I'm thinking in my head, I really want a treat. I want a fucking ice cream. I want a Blizzard from Plant Power really bad. And so what I'll do when I'm having those, like, you know what that's like you have thoughts that are like, you cannot stop thinking them. I'll think, it's coming my way. Eventually I'll have that. Or tomorrow morning, I'll make an awesome, really sweet treat oatmeal or a sweet treat breakfast bowl. Like, I'll make like a really cool, cute cereal. So just knowing that it's not going to be the last time whenever you have something that you usually binge on. And then also, weirdly, getting more into cooking and food helped me a lot because I'm more picky with the taste of stuff. Like, when I was eating a shit ton of random crap all the time, I didn't care what it tasted like as long as it tasted like halfway good. Like, but now that I'm not having it all the time, if I'm going to have a brownie or I'm going to have an ice cream sundae or something or a pastry, it's going to be fucking good. Like, it's going to be a really good one. And so I'm going to the amazing bakery, or like I'm going to the donut shop that's super good and I'm enjoying it way more. And it's giving me more pleasure than binging on it. But to be fair, I think a lot of my binging came from issues that I didn't deal with. So like, it will get better, but also you got to see the root of like why you're doing it. Because for me, I was doing it from loneliness and instability and stuff. So it's the most common eating disorder. It's the most common ED. So you're not alone. Genuinely, everybody deals with it at some point. What are your favorite silly things to do throughout the day to keep the whimsy? Example, collecting things you find outside on a walk. I think for me, I like to, this sounds so fucking dumb, but I like to dance a lot or like bust a little move. For the people I'm with, some of my friends think it's great. Shane thinks that it's really annoying. But when I'm feeling like tension, I like to kind of like bust a small move. You know what I mean? And it releases the tension and it makes me feel better. You can do this at any time and nobody cares. Like just like a little shimmy or something or whatever, it just makes you feel better. What are your favorite albums or genre? My favorite genre is grunge, especially like girl band grunge, like the Breeders. I really love like Veruca Salt and shit like that, and Bikini Kill. I love grunge when girls are doing it. There's also a lot of new bands that make really good girl grunge, but that's my favorite genre, followed by alternative rock like The Strokes and stuff like that. That's like what I listen to the most, I think. Just like easy listening alternative rock and stuff, and like surf rock. And then I dabble in some like electronic music. Like I do know every single 100 Gex song. I like bands like Kumo 99 and Fuckers and stuff like that. So I have a very wide range of taste. And then I also fuck with like pop music. Like I like Chappell Roan. I like Sabrina Carpenter. I'd say my favorite band is Nirvana, followed by Pretty Sick. And then I really like the Pixies and the Breeders, and I really like Fleetwood Mac too, and Steely Dan. So I like a lot of music, but I do not like classic rock. I do not fuck with the Rolling Stones and stuff. Don't care about. Sorry, I do not care. I like Wild Horses, but that's pretty much it. What's a topic that you like to nerd out about? My brain makes really good connections when I'm like if I go to a museum, like an art museum or whatever, like I feel like I can nerd out about symbolism and stuff that artists are doing in their artwork. And I think that I could talk about that for a long time. Like I love like art analysis stuff. I actually tried to make a video on that where I did like a digital gallery walkthrough where I like talked about what I think an artist is trying to say, but I found myself getting so exhausted because it was just like so draining. I never posted it. Any song recommendations? I'm just gonna go to my Spotify on repeat and see. I know Spotify's bad. Like, I know. I just haven't gotten around to like migrating my playlists somewhere else, but I do not fuck with Spotify and I shouldn't use it. I just have been using it for so long. It's like there's so much shit on there I need to like migrate. And, you know, I think my favorite underrated song recommendation is Make Believe by Tanuki-chan. And that band is very underrated. I saw them live. They're very, very, very cool. And then I fucking cropped the shirt I bought and it made it ugly. So what's your favorite horror aesthetic? Love the design and all your content, by the way. You're so cool. Thank you. Favorite horror aesthetic? I love it when like, okay, obvious 70s. Like my content leans 70s horror. I really fuck with exploitation aesthetic, like the big chunky text and stuff like that. And the colors, the warm colors. I think we peaked like in America with graphic design in the 70s, and then it's just gotten worse from there. Like it's gotten extremely bad. And now brands are going back to that 70s style, and like horror is going back to that 70s vibe. Like the Wretch book cover is an example of that 70s revival thing. But 70s horror just goes so hard. Like that yellow, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre yellow is perfect. It's so satisfying to me. So this is the last question, and it is, I'm moving to Vancouver in a month. Do you have any vegan restaurant recommendations? Okay. First of all, I think Vancouver vegan restaurants, a lot of the big ones, overrated. Taste like not that good. My favorite vegan restaurants or ones that have like really good vegan options is Viet Family, the vegan house, Kokomo for like a quick, cute lunch vibe. They have like a good selection of wraps that I like. I like their burger too. Like it's just like a cute lunchy vibe. I wouldn't get it for dinner though. Virtuous Pie is pretty good pizza, but honestly, it's just really overpriced. And like if it was up to me, I would go to like Panago or whatever and just get a vegan version. But my favorite restaurant in Vancouver was Do Chai, vegan Vietnamese food. Oh my God. They have a really good like glass noodle mushroom thing. It's so fucking good. Vietnamese iced coffee. And when I was like craving something late at night because nothing's open, I'd go to Terra V Burger, and the vibe in there is atrocious, but the food is really like pretty good. It's like it's an awesome like late night burger, nuggets kind of thing. Also, I'd like go to Sweet Cherubim and get samosas sometimes. That's where like me and my friend liked to go. But honestly, Vancouver's awesome because there's so many vegan options anywhere you go. I think even like Cactus Club has vegan options just like everywhere. But yeah, I think that was all the questions. Thank you for asking me questions, and thanks for watching and being here. I'm working on a video. My next video is going to be on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for a little summer-ween little vibe. I don't really feel like doing movie recommendation videos anymore because they're not really doing that well in the algorithm, and I feel like I get better response on actual video essays and analysis of movies rather than like recommending them. And I feel like I already got out the bangers that I wanted to show to people. So we're moving on from that. But yeah, hope you have a great day or a great night, and thanks for watching. Peace and love.